Hello and welcome to the Foilers TV. Today, we're taking a look at the Rio round of 16 bout between two Chinese teammates, Chen and Ma Jianfei. Chen had just handily beaten Lawrence Halstead in the round of 32, and Ma had barely edged past Gislan Perrier. At rank 3 in the world, Ma looked better on paper, but perhaps his weaker performance against his first round opponent showed that he was having a bit of an off day. Before I get too far into this, don't forget that the actual bout with my commentary is linked in the description as always. First of all, being teammates, these two had noticeably similar styles. Lots of slow marching on offense, lots of counterattacks on defense, and a few off-the-line actions in there for good measure. Pretty common stuff. But these two also had very individualized patterns within those broad styles. Let's start with the most obvious, Ma's long and slow accelerating finish. I mentioned in my analysis of his bout with Perrier that he's not slow moving, it just takes him time to get up to full speed from a slow march. But that critical moment where he started to speed up but isn't quite ready to finish yet, that was Chen's playground this bout. Chen's counterattacks, both of the crushing in and stop hit varieties, proved very hard for Ma to deal with. As a result, Ma's successful attacks were very few and far between. On defense, Ma had an interesting habit of searching with a half advance. Being closer let him find the blade consistently, which was important for him because getting that close and failing to find the blade basically guaranteed that Chen would land his attack. But once he found the blade, he would often take a retreat before his riposte. The result was that his riposte felt very late, almost to the point of being clocked out by Chen's remise, though he was still able to land it most of the time. On Chen's side of things, his accelerating attacks were a bit sharper than Ma's, so he wasn't shut down quite as hard. But if you remember Chen's bout with Halstead, he really likes to finish in preem against right-handers. Ma used that fact to his advantage, often counterattacking and successfully closing out that high inside line. Also, Ma's interesting parry riposte, though it looked pretty risky to me, somehow worked just fine for him. Chen's own parry riposte wasn't used all that much, just because his counterattacks were that effective. So I can't compare them directly in that respect. But one area that lends itself really well to direct comparison is the off-the-line situation. Chen started out doing really well there, with a couple of straight attacks when Ma hesitated and a really nice parry riposte when Ma overcommitted to an attack. He also tried a bunch of bent arm attacks, which worked at first thanks to Ma missing, but when Ma switched over to straight attacks and parry ripostes of his own, Chen didn't change anything about them. As a result, Ma began to enjoy, if not dominate, the off-the-line situation as the bout progressed. Instead of the drama and mind games that sometimes come with teammate versus teammate bouts, this one was pretty straightforward. Both fencers just did what they usually do, which made this into almost a mirror matchup. Most of their actions sort of canceled each other out, and it was those small idiosyncratic differences I've just discussed that led to this result. That, and maybe Ma just wasn't having a very good day. Chen ended up winning with a score of 15-12, and he went on to face Timur Safin in the round of 8. Thanks for watching, guys. Click the links on the screen to see both fencers' Who's Who videos or their previous bouts from the round of 32. As always, the link to the bout commentary itself is in the description, along with a link to join my Discord server. Feel free to discuss this bout in the comments, stay tuned for Toldo vs Cheung, and as always, stay sharp.